hard, easy versus easy, hard. And guess what? The hard, easy is when you choose a natural route for healing. And guess what? Sometimes it sucks. Yep, I just told you, sometimes choosing the natural way of healing sucks. But why? Because it takes time. We live in a society that is go, go, go. If something happens in our body, we need the response and we need the healing to be what? Quick. I need it to be done. I need to take something so this goes away. I cannot miss work. I cannot miss my trip. I cannot stay home with my kids. I cannot fill in the blank. Society has set us up to just go, go, go. So it's no wonder we are so obsessed with making sure that things heal quickly. Well, I'm just here to tell you, sometimes they don't. And sometimes you're gonna pull your hair out, and sometimes you're gonna have to dig deep, and sometimes you're going to doubt everything that you know when things are not unfolding and unveiling as they should. So let me tell you my own experience. Last week, Amaya swam a ton back to back, right? Big deal, it's summer, she swims all the time. But we have a feeling that a little bit of water got stuck in her ear and we didn't really clear it out. Because come Monday night, we were leaving her grandparents' house, she said, ow, my ear hurts. It's a little sore. We're like, okay, we'll check it out. We looked inside, just a little bit of redness, no big deal. It'll all go away. Well, by Tuesday, you could tell that she was kind of melty, not feeling her best. She was starting to kind of say her ear was hurting her even more. Come Wednesday, we are full blown into whatever just took place. She had a fever all day long, about every 3 minutes, if not less. She said, my ear hurts. And things had just progressed so quickly. And so I had to take a minute and go, well, now what? Hold on, what do I do? Obviously, I'm a chiropractor. Obviously, I made videos telling you what to do with ear infections. But guess what? I'm a mom first. So at that moment, I had to take a second, pull back my emotions and gather myself to figure out what to do. And I would be lying if I told you that I didn't have moments of freak out throughout this process, because guess what? We're a week into this and she's feeling phenomenal. She's back to her normal crazy self, but there's still stuff in her ear that's clearing out. So if I would have gone down a different route, everybody would still be freaking out because there's stuff in there because we need it to be gone, but her body is doing just fine. And again, I'd be lying if I tell you I didn't stop for a second to think, well, should I do something else? Should I be doing more? Do I need to use antibiotics? Should I get a drop? Wait, should I give her Tylenol? No, I don't do that. Should I give her the Genexa? What do we do? So let me tell you what we did. She got adjusted multiple times a day, first and foremost. Why? Because when we're looking at the ears, we're looking straight at that upper cervical, and we know that if something is off up there, if that entire area is subluxated, we're done. That ear is not getting the nerve supply that it should. Things are not going to drain like it should. So we wanted to make sure we got up in her upper cervicals, we checked her first vertebra, we checked her occiput, we cleared that out, and then of course checked everything else in her body and adjusted wherever she needed that adjustment to take place. But this was multiple times a day. We had our laser at home, we set it to an ear infection setting, and we set it to a pain setting, and we used it multiple times a day. We had Congoplex chewables, Catalin chewables, and the kids' immune supplements multiple times a day. I gave her probably about 15 Congoplex chewables and about 4 to 6 of the kids' immune supplements and about 6 Catalin every day for about 3-4 days. We proceeded to use, initially when we thought maybe it was more like swimmer's ear-esque, we used the Highlands drops. We used some garlic oil. We actually put garlic in her ear multiple times. We did ear candling just to help drain. We used hydrogen peroxide in her ear to just let it bubble up and help break anything else apart. And we poured a lot of silver in there. If you asked her, silver was the thing that would always make her feel the best. So we use silver for everything, right? We have the silver gel in place of something like Neosporin. We're gonna have it on our skin. We're gonna use it on a reaction, a rash. But we also use the spray for different antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral aspects. That's what she wanted. She laid on that side and she poured that silver in her ear. We also did our cervical traction exercises just to, again, help pull everything back, get that C-shaped curve where she needs to be. And this was every day for hours on end for multiple days in a row. And it sucked. It did. Of course we were gonna do it. She's our baby. We'll do anything for her. But we didn't sleep. One of the nights, it was about 5 a.m. when we finally went to sleep. But it was so incredible to be able to watch her body do what it had to do. And I think our favorite moment throughout that, even though it was like 5 in the morning, was when she got adjusted in the middle of the night and Chris got up in the back of her neck and adjusted her occiput and her entire breathing pattern changed. And we were like, way to go, you know? And that's how amazing your nervous system is. And that's how amazing your body is. And that's how phenomenal chiropractic is when it comes to healing. But remember, it takes time. It takes effort. Oh, I also forgot, we did use a ton of essential oils. I had them at the bottom of her feet. I put tea tree and lavender in the back of her ear. I would put some on her chest. I would put some on the back of her spine. So that's something that we did like clockwork as well. And then her heat pack. The heat pack was her best friend because that warmth just helped kind of drain everything out, would really help the pain in there. And she was an absolute trooper. So the next time something happens, just stop and say, what route am I gonna choose? Am I gonna go hard, easy? Because I gotta know, I'm stepping into the hard. This is gonna take time. I'm not gonna go to sleep. My kid's not gonna feel that hot for a while, but their body, their innate intelligence knows what to do, and it's going to do it. And then at the end, their immune system's gonna be that much stronger. Or am I gonna go easy, hard? Meaning, am I just gonna see redness and go straight to antibiotics? Which, fun fact, you cannot determine that something is a bacterial infection just by redness. You have to physically culture whatever is in that ear, put it on a fancy petri dish, let it grow, and then see if it's something bacterial or if it's something viral. Most of the time, ear infections are actually viral. So the antibiotics are not even doing anything to it, and they're wrecking your gut to begin with, which is why if you end up on antibiotics for ear infections, you end up on antibiotics again 4 to 6 weeks later for ear infections. Because the first time around, it wasn't a bacterial issue. You wrecked your entire microbiome, and now your system is begging for you to do something different because your immune system's a wreck right now trying to figure out what just happened with this random antibiotic that showed up. So yes, antibiotics are necessary when shit hits the fan. They just are, and that's why they exist, and thank God they exist. But let's not use them like they have no repercussions. They do. They're gonna wreck your gut, and most of the time you don't even do anything about it. Nobody tells you to take probiotics. Nobody tells you to do some kind of cleanse after. Nobody tells you to eat probiotic rich foods. Nobody tells you to pull all that yeast or anything else that might be stuck in there after. They just give it to you and assume all is dandy. It's not, okay? Let's be real, it's not. So if you're gonna go down this route, just make sure you support that system and just make sure that's actually the thing that you needed. If not, we're gonna play a little reoccurrence game back to back to back. So next time something happens with your kiddo, do this first. Number one, go within and just check yourself a little bit, ground yourself, and then show up as that person to support them. Number two, you are not meant to do this alone. Reach out to people who you trust, who you know that can support you through this process, and let us be those people for you. Because at this point, not only have we had our own kid go through quite a gnarly one ourselves, but we've taken care of hundreds of kids in the past with ear infection type issues. And once they actually clear everything in those upper cervicals, feed that body what it needs to do, support it with everything else, these ear infections become a thing of the past. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, please let me know, because this can apply to literally everything, not just the ear infection itself, but there's a lot of things when it comes to kids' health, especially, that's either hard, easy or easy, hard. So let's help you make that decision.